We are live. Hello, my friends. Roll call. Hey, what do you know? Live on my channel. Roll call. It is now live. Willow, 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 willow. I need somewhere to settle this thing so it is sitting up on some app. Hmm. Never tried that. Turn the other direction, perhaps. All right, optics, I guess. Well, now, that power is in. There we go. Welcome y'all to the live stream. Roll call. Watching the numbers kind of just sit. Eh, who gives a half a tit? As I gaze out upon green grass, stony pile, there are days when I have to question, do I have friends? Or is everyone like me, unsure of who to trust, but perfectly capable and willing? Who'd have thought? So, I am relaxing right now because I've been doing my YouTube thing and, you know, crawling around on the YouTubes, getting things done there. Um, Working on stuff, stuff and things, stuff and things. Like y'all watched my last video, stuff and things. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'll work my tail off in order to get myself out of here, and then I realize ain't going to happen without leaving a mess behind. And not that kind of person. I don't mind if I have a mess in my own home, my own place of living space, but I don't leave messes for other people. So working on that's been a bit of a difficulty. Hi, Janet. Good to see you, hon. Good to see you. Um, Good old coffee makes the mind fresh. So, well, thank you. I'm glad that somebody's happy to see me. A lot of folks ain't, but it's all good because, I'm working on my own individual situation and stuff, things and stuff. And I feel a little bit more confident for it. Hmm. Um, just a heads up, y'all might happen to have a little bit of difficulty getting on a stream today. My internet is a little shoddy, mostly to do with YouTube's. Is he speaking truth or is he being kind and courteous and not saying a word? No. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. It's that simple. So internet's gonna be in and out. I just want y'all to know I do love y'all. That ain't no just some damn words. That's right, y'all on the real. I care about every human life. I don't want to take life any more than I have the ability to give it, which isn't existent. So, I mean, one, I'm a man. Two, well, we won't go down that path. Anywho, having been through the shit that I've seen, I've realized that just because you're not willing to take life does not mean that you do not have a right to protect your own. And any person that is willing to take that right from you has therefore forfeited their right. By willing, I mean they are already in the action of attempting to do you or others harm. Um, Food for thought. A lot of folks tend to think that guns are a bad, and I say a lot of folks because that's just supposedly how our government works. A lot of folks think that things are bad, and then so they pass bills, and then it's slammed down by the very few who actually know what they're talking about. And then folks turn around and go, whoa, wait a minute. Huh. They're right. Maybe I should do something about this particular bill. Thank you, Janet. That is so true. No one can take your rights unless you let them. And that is precisely where guns come into play. Doesn't matter if it's an air gun, doesn't matter if it's a fucking slingshot. What matters is that you have the competent defense. Now, competent defense doesn't mean that you are overtly assaulting someone. That means that you are perfectly capable of dealing violence if necessary, but only if necessary. I don't advocate folks going out there and being violent. I don't advocate for untoward action. And I put it that way very clearly. And Jenny, that one's getting put up there too. Just saying. There's a reason why I kind of like your photo. That's my perspective on shit. basically, you know, to those trying to harm us and the horse they came in on. Plain and simple. Good men, and by the way, y'all should know by now, when I say men, that includes women as well. Men is the proper noun for mankind. Okay. At least in English parlances to what I learned. So, anywho, all men have equal right. Created as equals, we die as equals. What we do in life dictates how we are remembered, but we are all equal, which is precisely why I say, yeah, sure, you'll take my rights over a bunch of your dead comrades and a pile of fucking hot brass. You'll take my rights. Sure. It'll happen, but you're going to die first. You or somebody you know is going to die first because you decided to act against me in a manner that is a violent act or a threat of violence. And let's be very clear, a threat of violence doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you're going to go and you're saying, I'm going to go and kill these people, or I'm going to go and hurt these people, or I'm going to go and do this, or I'm going to go and break that. It doesn't work like that. A threat of violence is simply the mere impression that violence could occur. Well, the mere impression that violence could occur is exactly what that gun, that pistol on the hip of, right. But give me a second on that. I'll circle back around to that. um, so anyways, I forgot what I was on. Damn it. Okay. Um, yes, we all have equal right. We have the equal right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So, when somebody is threatening violence, yes, that's the threat of violence. But at the same time, just the mere imposition that if you do not comply with some form of legislation that directly conflicts with the acquiesce rights, and I call them acquiesced because the United States government said we agree that these rights are God given to man, and that because all men are created as equals, this is a blanket statement. You all have these rights. So, if everyone is created as equals and everyone gets these rights, equally, then why are some of us suppressed? Why are some of us held down and downtrodden in that same regard and respect? And a lot of the time, what you'll find is that they're very private citizens, very secluded people who are telling it like it is, telling the truth as they have observed. Well, truth is there's a lot of gun legislation, which is where I'm going to circle back to with this and this after the fact. Either you have the guts to turn around and tell them, fuck you, or you don't. And guess what? I have air rifles because I cannot legally own firearms. That does not mean I cannot lawfully own firearms. There's a big chasm between legal and lawful. Now, legally means that in the area that I'm at, people frown upon me having a gun, a firearm. not an air gun, because they can't say shit about an air gun. But far as a firearm is concerned, they don't want me to have one, which it doesn't quite make sense to me, being the constitutional man I am. Now, that being said, I live in California right now. And I say right now because I am working my damnedest on getting the hell out of here and getting a different place somewhere. It's my own property that is, you know, I don't have to work for rent. I just simply have to work to pay the taxes, I guess. And at this point, I'm seriously considering not paying taxes after purchase, because would you fund a tyrannical regime? I know that to me, that sounds like sleeping with the enemy. I pay my taxes. Kind of have to for the taxes I have to pay. It's the same ones we all have to pay. Your sales tax, your uh, road tax, uh, carcinogens tax in the state of California. Um, I used to think the same thing, Janet, and I'm gonna put this up there so that y'all can actually see what I'm talking to her about. I used to think the same thing, and then I realized it doesn't matter how many melee weapons you have or how many dogs you have, if those dogs are straight coward as cusses, because the reality of it is that a strong measure of gumption isn't going to last you very long. When it comes down to it, distance is what protects a warrior. And this is, what we call what anybody in the armed forces, in the military, in police, in militia calls a force multiplier. The distance by which you can hold somebody off and stand someone off who is trying to cause you or others harm is a force multiplier. Now, say I carry my air pistols and I carry my air rifles. I can hit something, and I'm not like most people. Okay, I have dainty hands, which translates to, as long as I can keep them tense, all right, and that's holding a rifle, you can tense up really well. As long as I can keep my hands tense, they don't shake as much, which means I get pretty damn close to surgeon's accuracy. Now, that's not to say that at some point in time the air's going to run out, the bullets are going to run out, because that's a reality. You know, guns do have a finite use and a finite amount of use in any situation. So that brings us to our next that Janet is bringing up, and I'm letting y'all run the stream basically here in the roll call. You can run out of bullets. Knives and hand weapons don't need ammo. Yes, you should have backup. You definitely should have backup, but you should be trained with everything that you utilize so that you use it to the greatest effect. I believe it's Navy SEALs have a rule book. There's a rule number 27, states never carry a weapon that could be utilized against you in combat. Think about it. If you're not using it, somebody else can. If you haven't used it up, somebody else can pick it up and use it. So use it or lose it. I mean, that's why I carry A little tiny knife, just a little small one. Okay, and yeah, it's a lock blade, or it's a straight blade knife. It means it's good and rigid. It doesn't fold. Okay, it's a good knife, but it's little because of regional laws, which I think are bullshit, by the way. I have this view about suggestory law that not a lot of people like, specifically because of the, what was it, states and individualities and countries. Okay, states, individual principalities and countries. Um, the United States is a country made up of countries. Okay, if you don't know that by now, then you really don't know how the country works. Um, California is its own country. Yes, it's also part of the United States, but it's its own country. Just like all of the other states are their own country. Yeah, Janet, that little knife actually is useful for a couple of different types of martial arts, including Kali. So you can do Kali with it. It's not suggested because it can slip out of your hand. Uh, that's why they make Karambi the way they make them. Okay, with the little finger ring so that it doesn't slip out of your hand while you're using it. Because yes, this can be utilized in a Karambi style. Okay, but it doesn't mean that this knife is any kind of less likely to come flying out of my hand. It's just got a big old freaking rubber wrap around it. Um, but small knives are just, yeah, that only works if they're not wearing stab proof armor. Now I'm going to give y'all an actual look at this. Please disregard my neighbor's house in the background. Yeah. Can you stab through that? There's a reason why Antifa has been utilizing this kind of equipment, and I actually looked into it and said, fuck, I could make this thing just really work out. And funny thing is they're really intelligent with what they did. They made it so that the front is ballistically sound and the back and sides is stab proof. This is something that Antifa came up with, which is something that irritates the fuck out of me. No, it's not open on the side. It's a dive through, kind of like let's see, the one I made is a dive through, but the ones that you find that a lot of other people have made, um, they go, they're not dive throughs, they're side opening, like Janet just said. Um, but yeah, there again, it, when it comes down to hand-to-hand combat, you have three things to recognize. One is um, time to negation. All right, time to the negation of the fight, which is in most situations, it's best to keep the time to negation extremely short, eh, down to seconds. Because if you allow it to, take up more time, the more can happen, the more injuries can result and whatnot. So, in all reality, the last thing you want to do is try and stab somebody in an artery. Yes, it's going to make them stop and crumple for a second. I mean, take me into account, Entre Vena Cava. But at the same time, that's one of the reasons why I looked into this armor. The thing is that when it comes down to hand-to-hand combat, you have to look at realities here. I'm going to show you something. The realities of hand-to-hand combat. First and foremost, when you are fighting somebody who has their hands up in any particular, method or form, when they have their hands up, there's a lot of blood vessels in your arms. But here's the thing. They all bleed fairly slowly, even your arteries. It could take about 15 minutes for you to bleed from this one to the point where you fall unconscious. That's 15 freaking minutes. Whereas an anterior vena cava will take you about 5 minutes to bleed out to the point where you can no longer keep conscious. Okay, so yeah. Now, knowing anatomy is a big deal when it comes down to martial arts and any kind of self-defense strategy. Knowing anatomy is the biggest deal. Because sure, you could hit somebody a dozen times in the rib cage. They're going to get back up. But you hit somebody one time in the corner under the rib cage right here, they're not getting back up. I guarantee it. That's where your liver is. They're not getting back up, and when they, in a couple of weeks, they're not going to be getting up at all. That's my point. Stabbing is not always the way to go because it's very messy. Very messy. You don't realize it until you've, unless you've been stabbed or you've stabbed somebody. It's really messy. Blood gets everywhere. It makes everything slick. It's, sorry, I'm trying to hold down my coffee. So, blood makes everything slick. It makes it hard for folks who have, say they have PTSD or have remedial flashbacks, which RFS is a real thing. If you haven't, known about that before, that RFS is part of PTSD. It's what's mostly referred to in movies about folks who come back from combat and have combat PTSD, which is they have flashbacks of instances that happened while they were there. There's memories that come back and feel real. So, folks with RFS, it's hard for them to be able to deal with things like blood and guts and all that shit. They'll blink out for a second, and that moment's hesitation is enough to get you killed. It's one of the reasons why we go to war young and we leave the battlefield at that same young. Yeah, that's called hypervigilance. Hey, what's up, DZ? I'm sorry, brother. I'll come right back to you, all right? Janet had a very good point to make. PTSD can cause hypervigilance, all right? And that causes you to see things just even into the most minute details and scale that most people would just pass over kind of nonchalantly. So there is that. Sup, Daisy? How you doing, brother? There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm doing this from a cell phone, mind you. Thank you, D's. This is the guy right here. This is the guy who got me onto a live stream. Thank you, brother. For serious. Started it all off. Good dude right there. You guys want to have a good friend. There's nobody, well, I say that about a few people, but when I say it, I mean, it's like nobody better, but in reality, it takes somebody who has a willingness to help in order to be that kind of person that I call nobody better. Okay. So there's nobody better than D's. There's nobody better than Cat in the Hat. There's nobody better than Janet. She came and just strolled on up to my stream and just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go and see what Blaine's doing." Well, thank you. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for hanging out. It's great, I love it. It's when I say, roll call, I thought I was gonna get like a bunch of folks that live within the general vicinity. I didn't realize I'd be reaching out to Canada. But hey, that's how it works. So yeah, like I said, DZD, that is the guy right there, man. That is the guy. You guys check him out. For serious. He's good people. And it's hard to find good people in this world. Wait. Yeah, I had to do the same thing, Daisy. That's why I've been gone for a several weeks here, just in case you were wondering. Yeah, that's why I've been gone for about a week, is because I've been cleaning up a lot of crap around here. Landowner came down and he wanted to see the property, he wanted to assess it because he's thinking about selling it. Um, I'm gonna be working my ass off to try and get my own place. So there's that. Who is that, Janet? Who twerks better than Dangerous? Oh, that's funny. Oh, Dangerous Freedom, brother. If you watching or if you're even anywhere gonna watch this later, I hope you get a good load out of this, brother, because this is fun. Thank you for giving us all the platform to even meet each other. It was great. Honest. Who, me? I twerk better. Oh my God. Well, call that living in Los Angeles. Oh, I believe what I was doing is called the Dougie, though. Um, I'm not sure. I, like I said, I don't dance unless I get like 4 beers in me and decide, okay, well, hell, let's do it. Yeah, that's right. God, oh, okay, I remember that now. That was, yeah, dancing in the kitchen. Oh, funny stuff. So yeah, Janet had a good one. I'm dancing in the kitchen there. Um, I never forget a twerk. Oh, that's too funny. That is too funny. Y'all just, man, you got me rolling now. Speaking of rolling, I need me a cigarette. Whoa. So, as it were, I think we need to talk roll. And when I say roll, I mean, what role would you play in a mutual assistance group? Now, barring all the folks that are going to probably mob me on YouTube, I'm saying, or, mob or mock, whichever, I don't care. Um, I'm saying, what would you do in order to aid your mutual assistance group, your community, not just at large, but proper? And we'll say community proper being 6 to 7 folk, family members, neighbors, folks that are directly around you within the peripheral 60 yards. Okay. Oh, then, as far as community at large, we're talking within the 40-mile radius around you. What can you do to help? And when I say 40-mile radius, I mean this is driving distance. You are able to drive to a situation to help the folks in that region be able to oppose said oppression or what have you. Okay. So like I said, 40 miles, that's a half an hour commute. You can be there in time to figure out what's going on and maybe render help, render aid. So, there you go, Janet. Gardener can sew, cook. Well, we can all kill. It's kind of inherent to human nature. Every human being can kill. It's a matter of whether or not you have a willingness and the inclination, the mental inclination to be able to execute that. It's a lot to talk on. Trust me, that's a loaded subject. Really loaded. Fixing, building, growing plants, sewing, crocheting, lots of other random skills. Okay, that's great. Yeah, killing, not all people have it in them. Um, not all people have the willingness. They certainly have the ability. See, I'll put it this way, and I said this to a court justice who decided that he wanted to say that, he was personally not an imposing figure and threatening to my person. And I said, do this. And he goes, and I said, you can kill me, sir, physically. I think it woke him up to the reality of what was going on because I told him, I'm not an idiot. I'm really competent. Many of the things that he was saying, he kind of reversed around. He turned around on it pretty quick because of that one comment. Can you do this? Then you have the ability to threaten my life. You can pull a trigger, and that's all that's necessary. Stephen Hawking could pull a trigger. He couldn't aim very well, but he could pull a trigger. You can do this. You can do this. That's my point. You have the physical capability to. That doesn't necessarily mean you have the willingness. Now, willingness in a lot of different circles can be misconstrued with intent. Yeah, Daisy, bro, I know that you're in like a world of hurt right now, so I didn't expect you to say all that, but okay. Um, yeah, I know, brother, I really do. Let me put it this way: anybody who's been to that edge, okay, that been to that precipice and stared into that abyss, and has come back from it, has a willingness to fight like hell for their lives. So, doesn't matter if you've got guns, it doesn't matter if you do not have guns, it doesn't matter. Can you do this? Then you have the ability to pull a trigger. And the ability to pull a trigger doesn't necessarily just translate to a gun. Have any of y'all seen Jörg Sprava, German slingshot manufacturer? He used to work in a steel mill, and before that, he was a bodybuilder. Big old massive dude, laughs like a freaking golem, about as nice as a teddy bear. You know, he's a good guy. Like I said, you know, slingshots are just as deadly as a pistol. In fact, he did a test that proved that a slingshot with a 20 millimeter steel ball was as effective, if not more so, than a 45 caliber 1911. That's the guy I'm talking about here. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You know, it doesn't have to be a gun. Wrist rocket. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, DZ. You don't need to necessarily relegate yourself specifically to, I've got to have a gun. Because in all reality, where you live, a gun's the worst thing. Because if you have to turn around and utilize that to defend yourself, automatically you've already fucked yourself over. Automatically. And I know that because I know the Canadian law and that crap, and you know that. Anyways, with a wrist rocket, you have the ability to be standoffish, which means that you have the ability to hold it full draw, not release your ball, which means that it falls under the lines of a crossbow or a bow, which means that it can be utilized as a weapon of negotiation, which I believe in Canada is still legally allowed, weapon of negotiation. You're not allowed to utilize a, a weapon immediately before negotiating, I think is what it was. You're allowed to defend yourself, but you got to know the law all the way fucking through. And it just, oh, you want to talk about a headache? I had one for almost a month straight trying to learn that shit. uh, so, anyways, yeah, the wrist rockets are on the definition of a linear bow in, let's see here, at least in the California firearms law and code. I know that much. And then there's also, I think in Canadian law, you can't have a slingshot without a hunting license, but once you have a hunting license, if you are out hunting and you utilize that slingshot to defend yourself against a human attacker, and that slingshot was first used as a negotiative weapon, it can be considered a lawful homicide. Don't quote me on that because I do know that the laws get funny, but I think that's right. Okay. Anyways, sling bows. Yeah, brother. Those things are freaking awesome, man. I was thinking about, upgrading my slingshot into a sling bow, and I've got a pretty nice wrist rocket, but the bands that go to it are the old rubber tubing, surgical tubing stuff. And so trying to string that up for a sling bow, that's something else. But it works. When shit hits the fan, I'll defend my life no matter what. Fuck them. You know what, brother? some days I wish that half my countrymen had just the fucking half the resolve you have in your pinky finger. Honestly, there's a lot in, to unwrap about fucking today's gun laws and Biden's bullshit. People keep on thinking, oh, well, he's better than Trump. No, you haven't noticed yet. I think we might meet with like some serious opposition if we did that, Janet. Not from DZ, just from other folk, if you know what I mean. I don't think DZ would actually protest all that much. I'm joking, of course, brother. I don't know if you would protest or not. I know that personally, I wouldn't. If I was living in Canada, I'd be like, fuck this. Yeah, let's go. Oh. I mean, shit, here in California, if somebody decided, oh, I'm going to go and kidnap Blaine, I'm like, you don't need to kidnap me. I'll go willingly. Get me the fuck out of this place. Whoa. Yeah, we could do a whole see, I'm pretty sure these would be pretty this would just be hilarious if it actually worked too, because I mean, how could you food for thought. I mean, how could you actually get somebody out right under the noses of, you well, one would be to pull the little move from the Man in the Iron Mask. Y'all remember that film? Where they go in with the dead body and he's under the friar's wardrobe, and then seriously, bro, a helicopter is, you know, it's awesome, but it's not like you're doing any good. Sorry. Um. Anyways, as I was saying, um, yeah, I think that would be kind of one of the ways that you could do it. You basically, for a lack of a better term, kill DZ, and then we smuggle him out under the cloak of darkness. Oh, it's gonna work out, brother. Godzilla-sized woodpecker. I'm sorry, that was funny. Oh, so yeah. Uh, okay, enough of that. Daisy, I know it's gonna work out, brother. I know it's gonna work out because where there's a will, there's a way. All right, and I can see you've got the will. You're gonna be an American. It's gonna happen. Now, when you get here, you might have to deal with a whole lot of fucking shit that they've already slung at the rest of us Americans. I'm just saying. But when it comes down to it, wow. Um, well, I don't know where you're at, Janet, but out here they're actually a federally protected bird. Whoa, shit. Oh, I sat on an ember. Yeah, at least I sat on it and it's not burning a hole through the freaking floor. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I don't think you can actually do that here in California. They're while there are federally protected birds, also here in the state of California, they're considered to be a state protected bird, kind of like hummingbirds. I'm sorry, that's bad to laugh at, but it's so true. Come and get them from here. You want more cats? We got plenty of ferals. Just come and get them from here. Oh wait, no, that's right. They do try to go back home. Never mind. Won't matter. What's up, Stuart? What's cracking, brother? Good to see y'all. So, this roll call is going pretty good, as far as it goes. I call it a roll call, but the reality is just we're just talking to each other, streaming and bullshitting. If this was a serious roll call, I'd be sitting here with a list in front of me, and I'd be sitting here going, okay, you showed up, okay, you showed up, okay, you showed up, okay, this is what our, what we've got to do. Yeah. Uh, don't worry, Janet. My mods won't take anybody off of here unless y'all are bullying people. All right. That's a straight up freedom of speech all the way across the board. Um, if you're bullying somebody, yeah, that will actually make things a little different, and I will ask my mods to take people off. All right, and that's the only reason why you know I even modded people is because I don't like bullies. And as far as it goes, you guys know the rules. Don't be posting pornographic site links in the thing here, and you won't have a problem. So yeah, Stuart does a very easy job. Doesn't have to really go after anybody. He can just sit there and bullshit like the rest of you. That's what life is supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be for everybody. We give everybody, the old friendly jab, but at the same time, it's one thing. Y'all know my policy. It's one thing to razz somebody a little bit, but it's a whole nother story if you just sitting there ragging on them and ragging on them and ragging on them. Yeah, you remember that you have an effect on others' morale. It's the same all around. You ban somebody from your channel, they hate you for the rest of their existence. That's why I don't like banning people. I really don't. I mean, even if they're doing things that are actually against my code. That being said, I will enforce that code, and I'm dead serious on it. Don't bully anybody and don't be posting pornographic link sites or site links. That's it. That's literally it. There's no other rules. I'll shout out your channel. I'll talk about the rough shit that nobody wants to talk about. I mean, honestly, if you've got something that really is burning your balls, so to speak it up. I'll I'll air it out, and I will find out we'll find out the truth. We'll get to the bottom of it. See, I'm not a big fan of haters, but haters can hate, dude. That's what they're gonna do. But when it comes down to people who are outright attempting intimidation tactics and trying to bully people, trying to make them hate themselves, that's something I don't tolerate. All right. When you go and threaten people outright, that's something I don't tolerate. So that's the difference. All right. Haters are going to hate. That's going to happen. Uh, how many times I've actually gotten up in, there's another viewer here. You know how many times I've gotten up in Tom Green's face? Not literally, but proverbially speaking. Okay, Janet, you asked for it. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is just so wrong. Like I said, I don't have a problem with you doing stuff like that. Like, yeah, Janet's gonna be Janet. Like I said, Stuart is funny. If it's funny, it's funny. All right, it's not bullying and it's not porn site links. Don't worry about it. That's why I'm just like I'm sitting here laughing because I'm looking at it. I'm just like, YouTube itself would actually ban that, but I won't. That's fucking funny. Here, look. That's funny. That's why I'm saying, YouTube, they'd be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, they said masturbate. And I'm like, that's pretty funny. See, that's the kind of that's what I'm talking about when I say I don't hold I don't hold hatred in my heart for anybody. All right? It's because well, no, I don't actually. I do, but I don't. I'm a guy, okay? Seriously. But seriously, uh, I'm not interested in how much hatred somebody can hold in their heart. Because let me be very clear, we all have the ability to hold hatred in our heart and to hold more than the other guy. It's just an innate quality we have as human beings. So, no, I'm not going to hate anybody. Exactly. Got to live life and have fun. Exactly. There's nothing in this world that is worth you going and throwing it all away over. However, there are things in this life that are worth preserving. Now, this is a harsh reality that I'm sure y'all have known is coming. I mean, that's something I do when I literally think on what is it that drives us? What makes our nation a great nation? And that is our liberties. our right to do as we see fit as adults. Sure, we have to learn as children. That's an obvious thing. I mean, all have to learn as children. But as adults, we have to make decisions. And how can you make decisions if your decisions are already made for you? Just a genuine question. This is one of the reasons, particularly, why I have fought with those who are legislating our rights and freedoms away as Americans. They are not representing us in any capacity. And I'll put it this way, I am not a minority. All right. When it comes down to being an American, I'm really not a minority. I'm Native American, white, and like Mesopotamian African, way the hell back in my heritage somewheres. Mesopotamian African, white, Native American, um, couple of others. And that's just going off of genealogy charts, okay? The genealogy charts on my mom's side, to be sure. We can't actually verify my dad's side of the family because my mom, she misplaced her genealogy chart. I don't have one. All right. I don't have a genealogy chart of my dad's side of the family except up here. It's all up in my head because I went and I tracked down when I was a young man, where families were, who and why, and who was related to who. And that's how I know basically what my heritage is. It's kind of important to me that I know my heritage. I'm not the minority in this country. My heritage is not the minority in this country. Mutts. Most of us are mutts. That's the majority of this country. Now, sadly enough, when you go and you try to see, if the majority in this country, the people who have been in this country for decades, all right, and have lived here since birth, they find that they're not being represented in the actual governing houses, governing bodies of the country. We're all American to some extent or another. I'll say that, yes, we're all American to some extent or another. Even those folks who are in other countries but feel a certain sense of pride for, what my ancestors have done, for what a whole bunch of folks' ancestors have done here in America and for the rest of the world. So, in a sense, yes, we're all American, but also we are all of these different nations and all of these different heritage delineations that give us a foundation of who to be. Yeah, these Americans are United States American. Okay. I don't give a fuck what y'all in federal government says. That is a patriot of our nation, of our ideals, of all the things that we hold dear as Americans. This man actually stands up and tries to fight against, every bit of hypocrisy is spread by mainstream and independent media. So, in all reality, I will expose Daniel because he is 100% an American patriot. When it comes down to it, we have these lofty ideals of our founding fathers, how we as Americans carry ourselves, and who we are. And it's like we all have this grand list. And we don't it to us. We have it gifted by those who went first and who shed their blood so that we can then be made whole. And down to it, it's not like reading the Bible. In all things, in all ways, it's when you actually shave it down, it's like reading the New Testament Bible. You know, Christ shed his blood so that others may be saved. Well, hey, what's up there, Cat? What you doing, brother? How you up to, Tom? Yeah, we're getting a lot of folks up in here now, Stuart. Go ahead and refresh your browsers if you're having trouble. We're getting up on dusk, so I'm gonna be ending this pretty quick, anyways. Um, but it was good to see y'all, and I'm really happy that y'all came around and said hi and whatnot. Um, yeah, YouTube has been working us over in the Patriot community, literally working us over. So we need to start working towards getting ourselves into verbal communities where we are able to literally reach out and speak to people on a day-to-day basis. And that's one of the reasons why I was passing out my phone number and email to folks over there on the other streams. Um, yeah, feel free to call me. Feel free to text me. Free to send me an email, whatever you would have you. Um, like I said, I fear no man or what any man can do to me. Uh, I fear nothing in this world because there is nothing in this world that can end me so utterly as God can. All right. And therefore, I hold my constitution, which is my contract between me and God, at the utmost of height, the highest order. So, I'm trying my damnedest to make sure that YouTube's going to be somewhere where I'm at for a little while longer. But y'all should go in, run over to Rumble. Check me out. I am Blaine the Guard on Rumble. Any Hoosiers? Um, it's been a long one. It's been a live one. And we'll do some more roll call coming up here. Let's see here. Let's try and designate an actual day that would be best for me to do roll call while so that I'm not conflicting with y'all's other streams and whatnot. Just food for thought. Um, I know that there's always the late night streams that not everybody's invited to. Y'all are welcome to come to my stream if I am streaming at late nights. Um, if I do a late night stream, it's an anything goes. And yes, I will be deleting it afterwards. Okay. If I do late night streams now, and it will be titled late night, kind of like, late night with Seth Rich or Seth Meyers or whatever. Seth Rich, haha. You guys catch that one? Late night with Seth Rich. Yeah, let's not go there. We might be sitting in a cemetery if we tried that one. Anyways, so yeah, like I've been chunnering on for the last 10, 15 minutes. I'm trying to wrap it up, but we all try to do things and doesn't always pan out, right? The world is waiting for your turn, Janet. Time for you to be tweaking on live stream, twerking on live stream. Oh my god. Did I just say that? Wow. We don't want you to tweak on live stream. Twerking. Maybe. I don't. I'm joking. Uh, yeah. Twerking, not tweaking. Hey, you know what? We should actually make that like the new Dare program. Twerking, not tweaking. It's funny shit, right there. I'm joking, of course. The Dare program sucked. So, anybody got suggestions for an actual planned live stream? Janet, it ain't that hard to get a backside. Um, I'm skinny as a rail. I still got black. I still got backside. I don't know how I came about that. Gluteus maximus. Anyways, yeah, wow. We've been live for an hour and 15. Y'all are awesome. Wow, DZ, brother. Do I need to actually start playing that? I can't actually play that music. Never mind. I'd get a copyright strike. The way that my luck's been going. Yeah, they do all cross. I was just over there on hanging out with the live stream over on Reed Hendricks live stream. He was talking about, the way of how the world is and all the crap that goes on, and he was streaming at the same time as the Prepared Mind was streaming, who was streaming at the same time as Prepper Nation, who was streaming at the same time. Oh my god, it gets involved. So yeah, Sunday night seems to be a very packed night. That's why I was kind of like, we need to figure out, sometime that it's going to be so that not only can it be us, but we can also welcome some new folks to the group, because yeah, a mag should be small. All right. A mutual assistance group should be small. A prepping community should be small, because you should only have those people who you can actually trust, which, according to old Popcorn Sutton, is normally about as many people as you can fit in the back of a Volkswagen and still have room. Uh, I tell you what, I could count all the people I trust on on one hand, and well, I'm the first one. So when I say trust, that means how many people can you trust with your life? I can trust you guys that, emotionally speaking, you're gonna try and have my back, and I gather, hey, that's actually a tall order. All right. Now, same with me. Emotionally speaking and morally speaking, I will have your back. Now, I may not be in the general vicinity to have your six physically, but if I am, guess what? Well, that's why I'm thinking, um, mayhaps like, a specific set time and date, you know, like I'm not gonna say Thursday at 7 a.m. because that's just retarded, but you know, I'm trying to figure out like a specific time of day. Y'all are off work. Um, it's like the middle-ish of the day, so I still have enough light that you guys can see me, and we can talk kind of amicably. I still have internet in the daytime, so it works a little better in the day than it does at night and after dusk. So I'm trying to figure this out for you guys, all right? That's why I'm saying, sometime during the day, sometime during the week, because obviously Saturday and Sunday are always a thrash up, you know. And that's why I came to y'all on Sunday, because I knew y'all would be pretty much off, and I made sure to wait until all the big prepper groups got their stuff out there, so that we have somewheres that everybody that I know can actually come in and say hi and whatnot. Um, but Sunday night, where I'm at, is like midnight where DZ is, and well, not midnight, but you get my drift. It's late where DZ is, and it's freaking actually early over there in Hawaii, where what's his name is, and I think it's like really crack a dawn early morning over there in England, where a couple of my viewers are. So, like I said, I got viewers all over the freaking world, surprisingly enough, that want to hear what I have to say. Could you imagine that? So yeah, I'll try, and I'm trying to accommodate y'all, especially my American brethren. All right, folks who are here on the mainland, on the continent. I'm trying to accommodate y'all, because we need to be assisting each other, and comms are important. So I'm glad that DZ showed me that there is a way, and showed me how to use that, by the way, that there is a way for us to actually confer and talk here. So, any Hoosiers, um, I'm going to end this stream, and any of y'all that want to jump on here, like right quick and in a hurry, do so quickly so that we could have ourselves a discussion up in the panel. Let me bring you up before we end the stream so that you can get in here, because I don't have any controls, I don't think, after the stream is ended. So go ahead and try now. I'll try and bring you guys up. My internet's kind of fuzzy, but it's worth a try. Um, let's see here. A good day, a good day, a good day. It's a good day for me. It's any day of the week, really. Got no preferences. Um, it's one of the niceties of doing the kind of jobs that I do. It's just it's really easy for me to try and fit in between other folks that because during those times I can be working, and then when it's time for me to live stream, hey, I can live stream. Sprickens invite you, and I'll be right back. Oh, light. And he said, "Let there be light," and there was, and it was good. Okay. Um, like I said, anybody who wants to is welcome to. Um, but yeah, don't have to. Like I was saying, I really don't have a single point in time where I'm secured down to. So, um, yeah, we all have conflicting um schedules. Um, we all have conflicting schedules, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I'm trying to be accommodating, but it just doesn't. I guess it's being less accommodating if I'm asking. Um, hmm. See here, Sunday's pretty much taken, Saturday's pretty much taken. Um, Friday's pretty much taken. I got it for you. Okay. So the set schedule for the foreseeable future, uh, I will try and live stream. It's no guarantee, okay? But we will do I'm gonna pick out 3 days of the week where I'll stream. Okay. We have Manic Monday, and we'll do Manic Monday at um let's try for 5 o'clock. Um 5 o'clock Pacific time, Pacific Standard, which would be 8 o'clock your time, DZ, and it would be uh or no, it would be, yeah, it would be 8 o'clock your time, and it would be um like like 9, 10-ish over where Nikki's at. So there's that. So yeah, Manic Monday. So we'll call that one set. Manic Mondays. And because it's the start of a new week. Everything that's crazy that's happened the past week, we're gonna go over and run through. And all the crazy shit that just is happening around us. And of course, and then we'll go and do, there's a good one. Lightning Thursday. Instead of Thursday, it's Thursday like it was originally designed to be. Now, Lightning Thursday. So we'll go and we'll talk about well, we could just basically talk about, basic history, but we're also going to talk about things that are specifically geared towards uh warfare. We'll call it that. Okay, specifically geared towards warfare will be Lightning Thursday. And then Sunday Fun Day, like we did today. Sunday Fun Day will be roll call. So every time you see roll call pop up, that's just, we're just having fun. And if you see SOS pop up on a Sunday, that's like you've seen before, save our speech or save ourselves. Now, depending on the situation, if it's a save ourselves, I'll make sure that the SOS is in lowercase. Okay. The SOS itself in the title will be in lowercase. It's a little indicator to you guys that it's a situation where we all have to be hunkering down and, you know, lubing up and refining lead. So there's that. If it's an SOS with a big one, then it's our speech, and that's a freedom of speech night. Okay. And if it's roll call, that, like I said, it's just all of us fucking around. So there we go. Manic Mondays, Lightning Thursdays, and roll call or SOS. So it's been fun, y'all. It's been absolutely just crazy. Um, DZ, if you want to open up a live stream, we'll all run over there. I know that you're itching to get your finger on the trigger, brother. So rock onage, and I'll be waiting in the wings. I gotta go take a piece. So peace out.